Hey besties and welcome back to my trash channel. I'm sorry this video is kinda short. I was brain dead, but I also promise that next video will actually contribute to the plot. I just really wanted to write some fluffy content again, relieved face. Anyways, on with the video. Stuck with you. Part 14. 9 a.m. Sakuatsu's eyelids slowly started to lift open, the light from his window making him scrunch his eyes close again. He had forgotten to close his curtains last night. He slowly started to open his eyes back up again. He was squinting a lot, though his eyes widened when he saw what was right in front of him. Atsumu was laid on his bed with his phone propped in front of him. The older boy had a slight smile on his face and his blonde hair spread out on the covers like daisies. He held his pillow comfortably and his lips were slightly parted. Atsumu. Sakuatsu called out in a whisper, despite knowing full well that the boy was asleep. He smiled as he reached over to his phone to take a screenshot. Atsumu didn't wake up. The only movement he was making was his chest rising and falling. Sakuatsu smiled again and started to shuffle off his bed to take a shower and make some breakfast for himself. Atsumu started to slowly open his eyes. His room was dark and the only light he could see was right in front of him, coming from his phone. He realized that he was still on FaceTime with Sakuatsu, but Sakuatsu wasn't there. Omi. He called out, in case Sakuatsu was in the room but not in front of his camera, but got no reply. Atsumu pouted. Where did you go, Omi? Atsumu groaned as he started to sit up in his bed, when he heard the sound of a door opening from his phone. Omi. Is that you? Sakuatsu appeared on Atsumu's screen. He was wearing a black hoodie and his hair was still wet. He had clearly just gotten out of the shower. Omi. Morning, Atsu. Morning. Atsumu's voice was cheery, despite only just waking up. How are you this morning? Tired. Sakuatsu replied quickly, making Atsumu chuckle. Have you had some coffee? Sakuatsu groaned as he laid on his bed. No. Atsumu laughed again. You're clearly not a morning person, Omi-kun. Sakuatsu rolled his eyes. Shit, how'd he find out? You've been up longer than me and you seem so much more tired. That's because I am dumbass. I feel like I'm gonna fall asleep any second. Yeah, cute. You know that. Fuck off. Sakuatsu pushed his face into his covers, half trying to hide his blush and the other half trying to fall back asleep. Atsumu smiled widely. Do you not have any shame? Why would I have shame complimenting you? Because it's dumb. No. I'm just telling the truth, Omi. Sakuatsu groaned and dug his head further into his covers, as low smiling, but it wasn't visible. Atsumu smiled softly and the boy on his phone screen, his eyes with stars in them and his cheeks painted pink. IQ. Sakuatsu's cheeks were pink but they were hidden by his covers. What did you say, Omi? Atsumu didn't catch what Sakuatsu had said. Nothing. 1 month later. Monday, 7:30 a.m. He's oblivious. How can someone be so dumb? They were in an Arizuki gym and Osamu was complaining about Atsumu. Atsumu was currently in the changing room getting ready for morning practice. Probably also stretching. What do you mean? You know how Atsumu was straight. Was. And yay. He's clearly not. The idiot clearly has it bad for the Sakuatsu guy from Itachiyama. He's so dumb it hurts my brain. I don't really care if he's gay or not, but how do you know? Rin. Do you listen to me rant about him or not? Suna had his usual unreadable blank expression plastered on his face. Honestly, they FaceTime for hours on end every single day. Sometimes you will walk in and he'll just be there staring at the screen like a widow. He's in denial and it's so obvious. I literally don't care about your brother's love life at all. Osamu pulled an unamused expression. Yay, well I kinda do. Suna raised an eyebrow. I don't know. The guy clearly makes him happy. I don't get that, but Atsumu has weird taste in guys, I guess. He doesn't even know he's attracted to him. By what you're saying. He knows. He's just in denial, so it's lucky. He knows, but he doesn't think he is, so he doesn't know. They both made a long pause. Wait, so does he know or does he not? I don't know anymore. All I know is that he's a fucking idiot. Thank you for stating the obvious. Very helpful. Osamu gave Suna a look before looking over to the changing rooms and seeing his brother finally come out of them. Atsumu. Osamu called out to Atsumu, who turned his gaze to his brother then started to jog towards him. Hey Samu. Hey Suna. Hey. What took you so long, idiot? What practice starts at 8. Why was meant to rush? No, it just doesn't take 15 minutes to change into clothes, dumbass. So what were you doing? I was just texting Omi. Chill. Osamu looked over to Suna as if to prove his point, and Suna just rolled his eyes in reply. Atsumu raised an eyebrow curiously. What? Nothing. Get to practice. Osamu slapped the back of Atsumu's head and Atsumu whinnied in reply. OWW. We have like 15 minutes, oh my god. Atsumu. Oh my god, what? You're so dumb. You clearly have the hots for that Sakuatsu guy. Atsumu stared at Osamu with wide eyes, his cheeks heating up as he bit his lip. What? No, I don't. You do. Why are you in denial? I'm not in denial. Then why won't you admit it? 'Cause I don't. You do. Both of you stop shouting at each other. The sound of Kita's voice immediately shut them both up. I swear he's doing it on purpose, Omi. Sakuatsu chuckled listening to Atsumu whine about his brother while doing his homework. It was around 8 p.m. and they had been on call for about 3 hours. You think? There is no way he could miss my sets that badly. He's got to be avoiding them to get on my nerves. You sure he doesn't just suck at the sport? Sakuatsu moved his attention to his phone where he saw Atsumu sat down at his desk with a finger on his chin. I mean he does. But he can't suck that bad. My sets are too good to miss, relieved face. Sakuatsu chuckled and moved his head back to his work. You're ridiculous. But right. Sakuatsu smiled and replied. Maybe. His cheeks started to slowly go pink. At some point he decided to stop being stubborn and just accept the fact that he had it bad for the boy on his screen. Whenever he heard his voice, his heart seemed to do backflips in his chest and blush would take over his cheeks. With Atsumu, things were never awkward, well to some extent, but conversation was easy and he didn't feel completely drained after talking to him. He gradually found himself thinking about Atsumu. Things like how he was feeling or what he was doing, what he was eating, if he was smiling. He thought about him all day long. He'd imagine himself in the most different of situations with Atsumu that he'd only wish to come true. He felt a sudden confidence boost whenever he would talk to him. But he did miss him a lot, and wished over and over again that they didn't have to live so far away from each other. He wanted to be able to touch Atsumu again and hold him in his arms again. He wanted to talk to the boy until they both fell asleep, but not just over a phone screen. Oh my. Why do you keep doing this, disappointed face? Yeah, spacing out again. Omi. I miss you. Sakuatsu spoke out of nowhere and Atsumu blushed. I miss you too, Omi-kun. Atsumu smiled softly at his camera. I want you here right now. Sakuatsu was being very blunt, but he wanted to get it off his chest and knew Atsumu would say the same back and truly mean it. He knew Atsumu wouldn't judge. When I see you again, you better be expecting lots of hugs. Sakuatsu smiled widely. Something he also found himself doing a lot more often around the boy. I will be. Atsumu then returned the smile. Sakuatsu returned his attention back to his laptop that was in front of him, the smile never fading off of his face. You know, Omi, I think about you a lot. Sakuatsu looked back at his phone, not expecting the sudden confession, and his cheeks started to heat up. I should have said that. That was weird, I'm sorry, Omi. Atsumu's face was also heating up as he looked around his room frantically, trying to find something other than Sakuatsu's gaze to look at. Atsumu rubbed the back of his neck nervously. Hair. Sorry, Omi. Atsumu's tone saddened slightly, feeling like an idiot for saying that. I think about you a lot too. Sakuatsu said, trying to make the older boy feel more at ease and not like a complete idiot. And it worked as Atsumu's face started to heat up a lot more. I. Sakuatsu chuckled, making Atsumu's heart warm. Sakuatsu turned his blushing face back to his laptop, opening another tab on Google. He found himself typing something out that he would never had ever thought that a sane person would search. How to find someone's address without them knowing. He pressed enter, immediately regretting it. He seemed like a murderer or something. Something must have clearly happened to his expression, because Atsumu spoke up. You okay, Omi? I am. Yes. What's your address? Atsumu blinked a few times before bursting out laughing. Could you be any more blunt, Omi? He continued to laugh and Sakuatsu's face started to go a red shade. Hey, I got my point across, okay? Bahahaha. Just give me your address. Atsumu stopped laughing and met Sakusa's gaze. Why, you're planning on paying me a visit? Sakusa looked up and smiled before looking back at the camera. Maybe. Sakusa's tone was happy and Atsumu could tell he wasn't joking. Really? Sakusa just smiled and looked back at his laptop. Send me your address and we'll see. The smile never fell from Atsumu's face, instead just getting wider and wider. Okay, I will now. Dash. 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 End of part 14. Sorry if it's short, my brain literally couldn't think of ideas today. Hey besties, I hope you enjoyed the video even if it didn't have much to it. Okay, bye, I guess. XOXO relieved face. Woozy face with uneven eyes and wavy mouth.